Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing.
Hey, it's Jeff McNichol down here at Mom's Music, 1900 Melwood Avenue. I was just thinking, when I was a kid, the magic was at Frankfort Avenue, the Mom's Music at Frankfort Avenue, and I used to beg people to get a ride down there just to hang out with the guys and see all the cool gear. Now that I'm the owner of this store, it's like a dream come true. We're recreating the magic with the vibe that we used to have at the old store. We're carrying all the gear that you're going to possibly want. We're giving you the outstanding service and personal attention that you deserve. Yeah, so we've got the great guitar shop here. We're carrying USA Fender, USA Gibson, Paul Reed Smith, Gretsch, Jackson, Charvel. Anything you could possibly want, we're going to have it for you. Mom's is and always will be Louisville's music store.
Thank you for tuning into the Metal Forge. I am Mark Jackson and I am your host. The premise of the show is pretty simple. Awesome interviews and awesome music. If you want to contact me, hit me up at metalforgeradio@gmail.com or visit the website metalforgeradio.com. And now, let's get this show on the road. What is going on, metalheads? Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Metal Forge. My name is Mark Jackson, and I am your host. Today we have thrash metal maniacs Whiplash. By that way, I mean the singer-guitar player Tony Potaro here in the Metal Forge studio. We're going to be talking with him about their performance tonight at Hell's Heroes 4 in Houston, Texas. We're catching him right before he's about to fly out. So, yeah, before we get into talking with him, I don't want to keep him, because, hey, we're doing this one actually on the fly here. But before we get into talking with him, let's say, hey, how are you guys doing? I'm doing great. Flying out myself today, going to visit some friends in L.A., awesome stuff. Going to be stopping by the Rainbow and Lemmy's Lounge and all that. I'm actually going to be, it's going to be nice, I think. I wanted to go to Hell's Heroes, but this came up, had to go do this instead. There's next year for sure. So yeah, it's just fun stuff all around for everybody. So to everybody who is playing, all the bands who have been on the Metal Forge who are playing Hell's Heroes 4, have a great fucking show. Have a great weekend. Rock the fuck out. We're going to be looking for you here in the future too. I think I'm going to start doing some more follow-up shows here coming up. Because some of these people that we've got to talk to that have been since like 2020, like Lady Beast and High Spirits and those bands, I think I want to start doing some follow-up shows, see where they're at right now, now that things are finally starting to come alive and kicking. But anyways, yeah, we'll get into that later. So, Athena and Metal Mischief is here again this week with her special 420 edition album review. So we're going to listen to that really fast. We're going to check in with Athena, and then we're going to come right back and get into this Whiplash.
Misfits and miscreants, bangers and mashers, deviants and the deviated, the tormented and the fermented, ghouls and goblins, creatures of the night. Jack those headphones, crank the volume up to max, spark it up, and just relax. It's time for your Dudley Dose. Welcome to the next installment of Metal Mischief. I'm your host, Athena. And on today's lineup, we have a new album by Holy Witch on this very special 420 edition. The album is called Levitating, and from this point on, I am not responsible for my actions. So, as you might have guessed, I'm sitting here with a fucking fat ass doobie and a shot of very delicious bourbon. And what other better ways would you think to celebrate an occasion like 420? So I know this is like a kind of a superficial thing and it's not necessarily a holiday. But any of those of us who are advocates for Mary Jane and want to bust her the fuck out of jail, it is 420. And I'm about to do a shot and hit this joint again. So give me a pause of a second. Whew. Oh, my producer over here, Dustin Meyer, doing shots, and you gonna hit this? Smoking doobies with me. So, I'm kind of gonna do a special thing for this one. I felt way too unmotivated to actually write shit this time. So I thought it might be fun to do like a 420 edition where I just kind of ad-lib the feelings and the fucking emotions I get from this album. I have to say, first of all, it's got this very nostalgic feel, and I tend to follow more of the bands that have that nostalgic, dirty, like, gritty feeling. There's something so soothing about a distorted guitar and some dreamy vocals. I mean, even if you're not stoned, shit's pretty fucking dope. Trust me, I listen to it not high, and then I listen to it solder high, and then I listen to it really high, and I'm listening to it like the 20th time today. And I gotta say, the shit moves me in ways not necessarily where you have to pee, but like that feeling in between a pee and a really comfortable, like, I don't want to get out of bed moment. I don't know if that makes any fucking sense to you guys, but that's kind of what it feels like. Anyway, I'm going to take just a second to pause and let you listen. So, was that tempting, or is that fucking tempting? What I really enjoy about this album is that they are definitely diverse in their genre. That stoner, doom, metal genre. But they have a lot of diversity on this album, and I really appreciate that. And they are new to me. But that's what I absolutely love about doing reviews of new albums, is all the new shit I find. I mean, you know, as metalheads, we dig around and we find, like, all those little golden treasures. This one's definitely a golden treasure. And for a 420 review... No. It is a 420 review. But, you do not have to be stoned to enjoy this. Sounds very good. Stands on its own. But if you are fond of Mary Jane, and you like her company, as I do, then you might enjoy it just a little bit more. So, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce the band because, you know, you always gotta give the people behind the scenes the credit for the amazing talent and the amazing work that they do. And I'm just reading this off of my face crack messenger between me and the band. First of all, I don't know who I'm talking to. It could be any of these band members. But, you know, isn't that the spice of life, the fucking mystery behind everything? Right, absolutely. So, okay. He says, first of all, I said, you know, hey, just wanted to reach out. You know, it's Athena. I do metal reviews. Blah, 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 blah. And I said, you know, I don't find a whole lot of information about you online. So I just need to reach out and get your information. Because people need to know who the fuck is behind the awesome fucking music. And I mean, I am picking you for 420. This is kind of special to me. I don't know if it's fucking special to all of you, but it is to me. So, I'm gonna move on. They responded with, oh, hell yeah, thanks for listening. Side note, of course I'm gonna fucking listen. This shit is gold. If you are into Stoner Doom, this is some fucking gold. Just gonna put that right there. Leave it right there. You can, like, you know, lament in that. So, alright, going back. I'm gonna introduce the bands. Dakota Clark, drums and vocals. You know what's really cool about that? You don't see a lot of drummers that are vocalists. It's usually the guitar player or the bass player or whatever.
Except for Phil Collins.
Well, yes, absolutely Phil Collins. There are other, and there's several other metal bands I could go on, but I don't want to, like, you know, eat up a bunch of Mark's time because this is Metal Forge Radio. But anyway, I digress. I think it's awesome that it's drummers and vocals, and that is Dakota Clark. And then we have Josh Evans on guitar, and Brian Davis on the mighty bass. As we know, you can't do shit without a bass. This was recorded and mixed in Shreveport. And I'm just reading verbatim here with our buddy Michael Stevens, aka Pizza Party Studios. Is mastered in Muscle Shoals by Jamie Seago at Portside Sound. He said, well, how did you find us? I said, well, man, Bandcamp. Everything. You can find everybody on Bandcamp. Go to Bandcamp. Google the fuck out of everybody you know. You will find something interesting. I promise you. So, if you're paying attention to the music behind me, please do so for a minute because I need to relight my joint. And so, this is actually the title track you're hearing. And you just always want to pay special attention to the title track. You know, the bands, they put a lot of fucking thought and love and energy into this shit, man. And sometimes you just need to sit down, light a fucking joint, close your fucking eyes, take it all in. Maybe pull out your dick, maybe whip out the vagina. I mean, hey, sometimes the music just music, sorry, little stone, music just moves. Ew. Suggestive, not suggestive? You don't have to listen to me. Anyway. I'm gonna bow out now. But I want you to spend another minute or so listening to this.
Pretty shot review.
Wow, that's rad, Athena. Sounds like you and Dustin were having a good time there. Sweet, sweet, sweet stuff. You know, awesome fucking shit as usual. Thank you so much. Get out to the heavy metal bunker, you know, if you know where it's at. Have some good times, you know, if you're going to be in the Louisville, Kentucky area, you know, go see Athena at a show or something. She's rad people. Awesome for sure. So, let's get into this interview here. Let's go ahead and start with some power and pain from the band Whiplash. This is Spit on Your Grave. All right, metalheads, this is a awesome treat for me today and for you all out there because I have Tony Potaro from the band Whiplash, 80s thrash, speed metal awesomeness, Whiplash here in the Metal Forge. Tony, how the fuck are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Can't wait for tonight. It's going to be an awesome show. We're psyched, and the rehearsals went well. Just can't wait to get on the flight and get down there.
Absolutely. And yeah, you guys are playing Hell's Heroes this weekend, you know, tonight and tomorrow. And of course, the pre-show was last night. And I hope all of the bands on the pre-show, because I think Exciter was on there, Night was on there, super awesome fucking bands. How could I forget Sadistic Force? Those guys played last night. It's super awesome.
And Toxic played.
Oh,
and
yeah.
has James D. Maria on the drums, who's doing that show with us tonight.
Oh, wow. See, that's awesome. That's insane. So
he's also in Heathen.
See, I need to catch up on a lot of shit because there's so many bands out there today that have revolving door members. It's crazy. And you've been in a few bands where it's kind of been that way too, because you've been a live musician for MOD in the past, correct?
I did, yeah. I did a tour with Billy Milano in Europe. It was 28 shows in 30 days.
Wow.
That was a lot of fun with Rob Machete on the bass. He's fantastic. And Tony Scaglione on the drums.
Wow. See, that's crazy. That's a lot of shows in a month. 2 days off.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
but it makes it pretty easy because when you do have a day off finally, you're like twiddling your thumbs and you're like, what do we do now? That adrenaline that you miss at night, it's pretty shocking.
I've never got a chance to do like an extensive deal like that. And I would always love to, but it's one of those things, you've really got to step up and do it. So
it is work when you have that many shows in that many days, but it's fun and you get all the glory and you get paid to do it. So
for sure. And it's probably one of those things because when you have that many shows, I mean, do you necessarily have a lot of other people traveling with you other than just like the band and a merch guy and possibly a driver?
Normally in Europe, we'll have a Nightliner tour bus and maybe 2 or 3 bands might share it.
Okay.
And then there's one road crew and one tour manager for the whole thing.
Definitely. So
I imagine that's going to probably be the case. I know we have a Nightliner in November. We're doing the European MTV Headbangers Ball Tour, which we're really excited about.
That sounds like fun for the whole family, actually, at that point. My goal within the next year is to actually head over, not back over, I've never been, but head over to Europe because there's some of these shows over there, especially in like Germany, that I'd love to go to because they're just seeing pictures from them and seeing live videos from them really doesn't do it justice. I want to get that experience for sure.
Yeah, it's all about the culture and the people there. They're so into their metal. It's so much fun.
Definitely.
Great.
So here just a couple of weeks ago, you guys also played Blades of Steel Fest in Milwaukee.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
See
those people too. They're so great. They were so appreciative that we even just showed up, and then we blew the doors off of the place. It was awesome.
Oh, see, that's rad. Now, so for everybody out there who doesn't know, you guys started back in about 84, 85-ish, correct?
Yeah, 84.
84.
Yeah,
and then you all had released some albums, then you took a hiatus and came back, and then there was kind of another hiatus and come back again. Is that right?
Right. The first album, Power and Pain, was 3-piece, and I was singing lead vocals because I've done it on the demo tapes prior to that, but I never liked my voice. I still don't like it, but then we got a singer on the third album after Ticket to Mayhem. And then we went from 3-piece to 4-piece to 5-piece. We had the reunion with the 3 Tonys, Scaglione and Bono and myself. And then we did another album, but I know that what the Whiplash fans appreciate the most is the 3-piece and my vocals. So we went back to give them what they want to hear.
Well, yeah, because I think at this point in time, I picked up a copy. It was the dual pack of Power and Pain and Ticket to Mayhem packaged together in the late 90s.
Yeah, Price Killers, I think they called it.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where I couldn't find. I bought it. Honestly, I've only had that copy on physical for just a few years. And
okay.
Yeah. And I've had digital copies of everything, else like Ticket to Mayhem and Power and Pain before that. And it's like, I really would like to find a copy. And I finally did. And I was like, holy shit, this is great. But it's kind of reached this like super cult status at this time. This like Power and Pain is one of those albums to me, and seeing it on lists saying out of like top 100 lists, and it's in like the top 10 of albums to listen to if you're into thrash.
Yeah, we really didn't expect that when it came out. We didn't think it was going to go that crazy and spread like that, but it did, fortunately.
How has that been career-wise for you guys? Well,
the music industry for us was always a roller coaster ride. That's why I left the business for a long time, like a span of 10 years, and had a family and stayed away from the music pretty much. But those first couple albums, there was no barcodes back then. So you couldn't really justify the sales. So we got screwed by our label, and that was another deterrent. But now, we're looking forward to, everything clicking, and, bands are getting royalties. We're getting royalties from the satellite radio, airplay, and still some from the old albums. But we have a new album that we hope to come out soon. We've been working on it for a long time. 5 songs are done and another 5 written, but not completely recorded and mixed and mastered. But the album's going to be called Old School American Way.
Right on. So are we hoping that's going to be something by the beginning of 2023? I
hope so. My goal is to get it out prior to the European tour in November.
Oh, wow. Even faster then.
And if I have to turn it into just an EP and put these 5 songs out, that I'm contemplating that as well.
Hell yeah. So this would be your all's, you've released a few splits and compilations and some singles since then, but if this would be a full length, this would be your first full length album since like 2009.
Yeah, definitely a long time. This has been in the works for a long time. I'm kind of disappointed that it's been taking so long, and we actually had everything finished, and then we got Ronnie Lipnicki on the drums from Overkill, and the label wanted us to re-record with him, but we also had recorded with Dan Ford, who's an incredible drummer from London, England, and he's done some tours with us, including 70,000 Tons of Metal, I think, and he's fabulous. In fact, he's going to be playing with us in London, where he's from, and Sweden, and I think Switzerland is coming up. I don't think that Northern Ireland is confirmed yet, but there's talks going on, so we'll see what happens with that. But Dan is an excellent drummer too.
Absolutely.
I think we probably had about 10 drummers over the course of the years, but now we have like a handful that we could bounce around with. If one guy is busy, or one guy can't get off his day job, we have like 4 excellent drummers to rely on. So we never run into a problem when it comes to that, which is really nice. And these guys are great, and they're great personalities, and that's important. You have to be able to hang out with people and have fun at the same time, but do your job.
Absolutely, for sure. And it seems like a lot of bands, like I said, how we talked a minute ago about interchangeable members, it seems like revolving door members or something like that this person plays with this person who's also played with these people over here. It seems to me that with the digital age these days that there's anybody who could fill in at any given time for anybody.
Yeah, as long as they're up to that level.
Right.
If you can't get someone off the street, that's not,
that's not knowing it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I couldn't come in and fill in on bass for you guys right now because I'd be just like, what the fuck? But
well, when we get out your way, we could try.
Hell yeah! See, whenever you guys come towards Louisville again, we'll have to seriously set something up.
Definitely.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey Metalheads, it's with great pleasure I get to tell you guys about a new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Ageless Art, New Albany. After 20 years of owning and operating Ageless Art in Clarksville, Indiana, Phil Garrett had a vision for a new type of tattoo studio. Something that is clean and modern, sleek, refined, inviting. And he's done just that with Ageless Art in New Albany. You can find it at 2736 Charlestown Road, New Albany, Indiana, 47150. Business hours are Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays are 12 to 6. All sessions are appointment only, so give them a call and go get you some new ink. Or if it's your first time, go get your first one, baby.
Hey guys, Wrestling Steve of the Wrestling Steve Show here. So if you're currently listening to the Metal Forge with Mark Jackson, then you understand that Mark Jackson has a pretty discerning taste when it comes to music as a whole. You'll also understand that he has a discerning taste for professional wrestling, just like me. My show is called The Wrestling Steve Show. I talk about modern and classic pro wrestling in a completely unbiased, unfiltered way. Be sure to check me out on all available podcasting platforms. That is The Wrestling Steve Show. And I am the host, Wrestling Steve. Just remember, like Confucius said, man who goes through turnstile in Thailand is going to Bangkok. Pro wrestling.
With the band and everything like that, where we were talking about taking hiatuses over the course of the years, has there ever actually been... Because, like, your current bass player has been with you since 2011. Ron's been with you since 2018.
Yeah, 2011. 11 years. Yeah, he's so reliable, the guy, and what a pleasure to hang out with. I mean, he fits in just as good as Tony Bono did from day one.
Okay.
And I just can't say enough how he's there anytime I need him, whether it's the rehearsals or even just to hang out on Taco Tuesday.
Right. So I guess what I'm asking with that is, with all of the member changes and, going back to other people and everything like that, has there ever been a full on reunion lineup or anything like that since any of that? I mean, obviously, Tony, rest in peace. But has there been anybody else that's ever come up to come back to the fold or anything?
Yeah. Cangelosi did. He came back for the Unborn Again album, which I don't think it really did that well. Didn't get any notoriety, but the songs are pretty cool, and I like my leads. But that one wasn't pushed. He was one of the people that came back. Who else? Had to be a couple drummers here and there. Scaglione came back for the Thrashback album, and we did a couple shows in Japan and Osaka. And then, who else? Let's see. Warren was in the band on guitar, and then he sang lead vocals after the Cult of One album on a Sit Stand Neil Prey album, which has my daughter on the cover, who's coming to the show in Houston because she's living in Louisiana, so she'll be there tonight.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
That's awesome. So tonight you guys are playing at, let me look at look at the time here, because there's so many bands today. It's like crazy. It starts here in just a few hours at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you guys are set to play from 6:45 to 7:30 in the on the downstairs stage.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're gonna not even get to our hotel room. We'll be getting off the plane later and probably have to go straight to the show, see what happens.
Wow. So yeah, you guys are playing on the downstairs stage. Your set ends at 7:30, and then there's that secret guest spot that still hasn't been told yet. I'm curious as to know who it is.
I don't know. But if I did, I probably wouldn't let you know anyway.
Right, because it's Christian's deal. Everybody's gonna find out. It's probably gonna be somebody crazy, So
I wish it would be Toxic. I know they played last night, but that would be great if they played again.
Right? That would be awesome. Whenever you guys get together and do shows like these festival shows like Blades of Steel and Hell's Heroes and do you create a new set list for every show, or are you doing it like the same? I mean, I don't want to ruin the mystique here, but are you doing the same set from Blades of Steel?
Normally we do the same set, but sometimes, like in this case, I think we got a 45-minute set, so we had to scrape 3 or 4 songs off.
Okay.
But still, the majority is what people want to hear. A lot of stuff from Power and Pain, mostly, and a song from the title track from Insult to Injury, and I think there's even something from Thrashback.
Okay. So you're doing a mix of a lot of the era stuff. You're doing some stuff that's older, some stuff that's even newer even. And
we are throwing a brand new song in there called Sword Meets Skull.
Nice.
The original title was Sword Meets Skull, Skull Meets Sword, but it was a little long, we thought, so I shortened it up. But that song is so much fun to play live, and everybody loves it up until now. I hope they enjoy it tonight.
Hell yeah. I love that title, Sword Meets Skull. That's hell yeah.
Thanks. Glad you like it.
Definitely. So tonight, if you're in the Houston area, tomorrow, if you're in the Houston area, if you can get in, if you don't already have tickets, I think it's already sold out, but there might be somebody out there, drunk and passed out on the sidewalk. You can take their ticket. So take their wristband from them and walk on in and see these guys and so many other awesome bands that are playing the show, like Bewitcher, obviously Whiplash, Solicitor, Savage Master, War Cloud, Lady Beast, and that's just on People Tonight, Candlemass. So many awesome bands playing over in Houston this weekend.
Wow,
but
cool.
I want to ask you some general questions just about you as a person.
Okay.
Because I like to know what make people tick. What was the last thing you watched on YouTube?
Oh, I do a lot of Netflix and Amazon Prime and even Hulu. I watched the Pam and Tommy thing the other night. That was pretty good. I seen Lords of Chaos last night. Have you seen that yet?
I have not. I know it's been out for a while, but
yeah, that was pretty wild.
But me personally, biopics are kind of this weird, like, gray area for me because
it doesn't really seem like that though. If you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
It is like a movie, not a documentary. And not everything's true. There's some stuff that's made up to make it exciting.
Exactly, and that's where I kind of get it, where it's just like, do I really want to take that step into watching it, knowing so much history about, just from reading things that have happened in the past? Like, I watched Walk the Line, and, because I can appreciate some Johnny Cash, right? And
he has the same birthday as me, February 26th.
Nice. That's awesome. That's totally cool. And
it's funny that you bring him up.
Right? Well, to me, it's just like, they leave the things out, like June Carter would like shoplift.
Wow.
And stuff like that, because that movie painted her out to be like, like Mother Teresa, like a saint, like she saved Johnny's life. And, but yet, she was a shoplifter, and that was because they didn't have money and shit like that when they, like, whatever, but it's like they leave that stuff out, and I'm like, and it makes me torn, Yeah, it should be real. It should be. That's why I think, like, I like more music documentary type stuff, like Sound City is an amazing documentary. Get Thrashed is an amazing documentary, which you guys are mentioning that too.
I went to the premiere for that. It was awesome.
That's great. I love my copy of it. It's like I watch it at least like at least once a year, if not twice. Even now, and it's been out for like 15 years.
Wow.
Do you collect your own music?
No, I don't. I use Pandora and Spotify and my Alexa. I have the 2 Alexa speakers hooked up in stereo in my ranch. I just moved from New Jersey down to North Carolina and bought a house. And when I set the speakers up in side-by-side rooms, it fills the place pretty nicely.
Nice. So, no original copies of Power and Pain in your collection or anything?
I seen one when we were moving. It was opened. It wasn't sealed, but one vinyl copy of Power and Pain.
My address is 34. No, I'm kidding.
That's awesome.
I mean, I was looking for a while, and I saw a CD copy of it on Amazon for like $145.
I know, that's insane.
I'm just going to say that. So,
and I don't even make $1.45 off of it.
Oh, yeah, that's one thing I've hated about Amazon. So,
and when when I was going back to when I was 47, I think it was, I'm adopted, but my mother called me up and she said, your biological mother wants to know if it's okay to have your phone number. So I get this call from my biological mother, and I knew I had 2 half-brothers, but I never knew I had a 3rd brother and 2 sisters.
Oh, my God.
And what brings this memory back up in my mind is the fact the price of those albums. And when my older sister, younger than me, but of the 2, she's older, she went online and bought all the albums for like $150 each. I was like, what are you, crazy? I would never pay that for a Whiplash album.
Wow. I mean, hey, like I said, it's achieved that cult status. And, you know, I'm one of those people that I don't go crazy on stuff like that. That to me is, you know, a lot of money. But I mean, like I said, I'm not ashamed to sit there and say that I paid, you know, $40 for 2 CDs. What do you do to get away from music?
I like cooking. I really like cooking. Like, I'm really good at it, people say. But I like cooking, like lasagna. I make this shrimp and rotelli with a white cream sauce. Some of my favorite stuff. There's so many things. I don't know where to go next. Right
on. Now, is that like a day job thing for you? Did you, being up in New Jersey, there's all the Italian restaurants, and in New York are the Italian. Did you not?
I did take cooking classes, but not to be a professional or for a job, just for home.
Okay, cool. So I was always told from my mom, she's like, you might not get with somebody who can cook, so learn how to cook, because if you want to eat well, you got to learn how to cook well. So,
well, the best thing about it is when you cook it, you make the way you want to taste it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey, it's Mark Maxwell at Maxwell's House of Music. Listen, all this stuff is now available to purchase on our website. Check it out at maxwellshouseofmusic.com.
We carry all the top brands, like Fender.
We got Gibson.
We also have basses.
We've got ukuleles.
We got drums.
We've got sound gear.
We've got keyboards.
It's Gonna Get Weird is the name of the podcast. We're on season 2, so you have a whole season to get weird with Frank Green and Scott Clark. The best part is there's always laughter.
Oh, yeah, you need to pull that out.
We have national touring comedians, NFL stars, rock stars, your local friends. It always gets weird. Weird answers.
Have y'all ever snorted coke off of a 78 Pinto? No? You ain't no man.
Weird questions.
Who had a bigger cocaine habit, Jock Sutherland or Kaywood Ledford?
Neither one, because they stopped beating their wives.
And weird we never even thought of.
Well, no. My friend is on acid, and I sent my friend to go find a payphone so that I can call and turn myself in for murdering this guy and ruin my life.
We love all types of people, but we don't love all people.
Weird. It's Gonna Get Weird is the name of the podcast, available everywhere. And thank you to Big X Sports Radio for being a proud sponsor of It's Gonna Get Weird. Frank Green, Scott Clark. Yeah.
Beer or whiskey?
Oh, not whiskey. My wife loves whiskey.
Oh.
But I'm a beer and vodka guy.
All right.
In fact, when I get to the sports bar at the airport, if we have time, I'm gonna have a Stella with a double shot of Absolute right next to it.
There you go.
They get along well.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Denim or leather?
Leather.
Leather. Awesome. And the last of the either ors here is Priest or Maiden.
I have to go with. That's a really tough one.
That is.
I don't know if I can answer that one, but I can tell you this: when I seen Priest at Convention Hall many years ago, Iron Maiden opened up for them, and hardly anyone knew who Maiden was, and they just blew everyone away. It was that long ago, and everyone was, after that, it was like, wow, I got to get to the store tomorrow. These guys are fucking great.
Now, was that pre-Bruce?
No, I think it was with Bruce.
Oh, wow.
No. I'm sorry. It was Paul Di'Anno.
Okay, so yeah, it was Di'Anno.
But they came out with the Eddie and everything. It was awesome.
That's awesome. I would have loved to have been able to see them then.
Then Halford came out with the motorcycle. That was cool.
Right. Yeah, because that was right around, that probably would have been around the same time that, with the first Iron Maiden album, that Hellbent for Leather and British Steel were coming out, or had just came out.
Killer.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
That's rad shit. Do you believe in the paranormal? Things like ghosts, UFOs, Bigfoot?
I never did until I was at this cemetery taking pictures for my friend's band, Witches of Moodus. And they wanted me to do the album cover and the back and whatnot. So I took a bunch of pictures, but then I found this staircase of like 3 or 4 stairs built into the grass that led to nowhere. And I thought that was so cool. So I took 2 pictures of the stairs. And then 8 weeks later, I'm looking back and going through all the pictures, and I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck is that in the background? And you could see, like, I showed this picture to, and the first picture, there's nothing there. And only 8 seconds later, I took the second picture, and you could see it, so you could compare the 2. And in the second one, you could see, I showed it to 200 people, and everyone believed that there was something there except 2 people who just didn't want to believe it. But most of the people could see angel wings, and half of them could see it was a female angel and a young kid with sneakers on, sitting down. So I went back there. The hair on my arms was standing up. I couldn't believe it for days. So I went back there months later because and I never really showed, I only showed those people. I never published the picture or sent it to the Weird New Jersey magazine or anything because I didn't know how close this thing got to me after the picture or if it wanted me to, make it public. So I only showed it to people and didn't give any copies to anyone except my daughter. But
wow,
it was shocking. It was shocking to this day.
That's absolutely wild.
And I never believed until I was the one that took the picture and I knew it wasn't set up. And in fact, with the alien thing, twice I seen a UFO when I was never alone. The first time it was with my high school sweetheart, and it was right here in the town I'm in right now in Clifton, New Jersey. And we looked up and I said, look, what, you see that? What the hell is that? And she's like, yeah. And then all of a sudden the lights just went out on it. Like it knew that we seen it and it wanted to shut its lights off to hide or something.
Wow.
And the second time was after recording with Scaglione, and we were coming over the top of Route 3 in Clifton, and you could see the New York skyline. But to the right of it, there was something floating in the sky, and you could see it. It was 5 o'clock or 6 in the morning, so it was like daylight. And that was another freaky one. But I'm glad people were with me too, so I know I'm not going insane.
That's wow. I've seen something similar where there was something in the sky that was just kind of sitting there. And then all of a sudden it was just it looked like it went away from me, and it was and I was completely dumbfounded with that and insane. It's so crazy to think.
It is.
If you could relive any age of your life, what would it be?
Oh, that's a tough one. Because I didn't get married to my current wife until not long ago. So, but you know, I guess my early 20s definitely was fun. I mean, that's the point in your life where you're like, you know, when we were doing the music and on top of the world, I remember saying, like, I would never want to change my life with anyone else's in the world. You know, I was really happy at that point. I still am now, in a different way, though, at age 61.
Okay. Hell yeah. I mean, early 20s, I think, for a lot of people is where it's at as well. Who would you want to see perform live if time or money didn't matter?
If time didn't matter, I would want to see Deep Purple with Blackmore.
Okay.
He was always my idol, and I used to copy his leads and everything, but what a letdown with that shit he's doing now.
You're not the first person I've had say that.
Who else? That would probably be it. I would love to see Blackmore with Purple, and I did see Glenn Hughes recently, not too long ago. That was awesome.
Nice.
But, yeah. Purple is my favorite all-time band. But I love Corrosion of Conformity too. I really listen to more stoner metal music than thrash.
Right. We were talking about cost of albums, and that right there. There is a store about 50 miles north of where I live, and it's actually in Seymour, Indiana, which is where John Mellencamp is from. Okay.
Right.
They have the first Corrosion of Conformity album on vinyl, still sealed, original press, and it's going for $5. If it's still there. It was there like 2 months ago. But it's $5, and it's just like, what do you do with something like that?
Yeah.
Do you spend $500 on it and put it on your wall to display because it's not been open?
Yeah.
Or
inside a glass case.
Right. Or do you just go for broke and say, fuck this, I'm going to listen to it because it's never been played?
Well, the worst case scenario is you have it laying out on display and somebody comes over and opens it up and puts it on your turntable.
Oh, shit. Yes, that would be terrible. That would be just like, get the fuck out of my house right now kind of shit,
Yeah.
you know?
Leave your wallet.
Yeah, leave your credit cards, whatever you have. So I always like to say this before I ask this question because, metalheads are usually eclectic people. We go around the world, we tour, we find these little hole in the wall places like thrift stores and, little small like roadside attraction things. And there's always knickknacks for sale. What do you collect?
Oh, not too much. I don't collect.
You just
anything,
unloaded
really.
a lot of stuff because you just moved.
Yeah, we moved and threw out a lot of stuff, but and I only have 2 guitars. I have my Gibson SG, and I just bought a killer Jackson Select Series Kelly, and I'm not sure, but when I went online, it was the only one I found, a gloss black. And then I seen another one in white, and it says on back order. And I don't see another one of these 2022 Kellys because they disconnected. They stopped making them a while ago.
Right.
So I got my hands on this one. It cost me a lot of money, but my wife was like, "You got to get it. That's your business, and you need the right tools." And my SG, I bought it in 1978 on 48th Street in Manhattan, and brand new. And I wore that thing down to nothing. Like Man vs. Machine, I won.
Right.
But I love that guitar too. But now that's retired, and I'm just using this Jackson Kelly, which I'm really happy with so far.
Hell yeah, for sure. That's one of the things I've always loved the Kelly body style because it's like the Explorer, but that more angular.
Yeah, right.
Design, and I've always liked it with like the reverse headstock. Awesome stuff. I love those personally too. Yeah. So, and the other one is the like you said, I've always loved an SG.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
I mean, I'm a huge Black Sabbath fan, so that explains that.
Hell yeah.
Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com. Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code METALFORGE to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now. Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soul Grinder Zine, an independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now. What was your favorite TV show growing up?
Growing up, I'm not sure, but my wife when I first met her, she turned me on to that show, 2.5 Men.
Okay.
And I love that show. That's great comedy. The writers are unbelievable.
Yeah, Chuck Lorre is ridiculous when it comes to that. He has a lot of very good shows out, I've noticed. What was the first album or music you purchased with your own money?
Oh, well, there used to be a paperback version of TV Guide, and they had I think it was the RCA Record Club.
Oh, yeah.
And you pay 5 cents, and you get 28 tracks for free, but then you have to be a member, and they send you another 1 or 2 each month, and you could return them or you could buy them. And I remember I had Ted Nugent Free for All. I had Jethro Tull back then. What else? I had one of those Dynamite 8-track players. It looked like a little plunger, on the top. It had like you would set a bomb off when you switch from one track to the next. It was really cool.
That's awesome. I think, even in my day, we had Columbia House and BMG and stuff like that. I think everybody at some point went into a collection agency on those people.
Oh, yeah, probably, right?
Because I know I did. What can we say is an album that is an absolute playthrough? Front to back to front, you don't skip a song.
Well, there's a few. Deep Purple in Rock is one of my favorite. Probably my favorite album of all time. And then you have the Rainbow albums, Rainbow and Rainbow Rising.
Right.
Those are killer. All of those songs, Stargazer and all of that. A lot of the Dio stuff too. I mean, that was always great.
Definitely, for sure. I mean, even albums that that's not Holy Diver, you've got Left to the Wolves and stuff like that, are still really good albums.
I gotta listen to some of that on the flight.
Oh, for sure. So, speaking of the flight, we got to get ready to cut out of here so you can make it on time. You know, it's yeah. So, do you have any shout outs you want to give to anybody before we go today?
Well, thanks to you, Mark, for, having me on. I appreciate it. If it wasn't for you and people like you spreading the word, it wouldn't be what it is today. Thrash metal, heavy metal. So,
thanks, man. I appreciate that.
A good friend of mine, Jerry, DJ JD at Metallic Cave on Cranium Radio. He's another one who's spreading the word. So, for everyone that takes time to share the thrash music, especially, thanks to you.
Thank you, man.
And I hope everyone comes to see Whiplash soon in the future.
Hell yeah.
Tonight.
Hell yeah. Like I said, if you're on your way to Houston, y'all be safe, because it's going to be a kick-ass fucking weekend for you all for sure. So,
Thanks.
Final question of the day is, what album changed your life?
That's a tough one. It had to be a Deep Purple album, not the first one, but the earlier Deep Purple. It could have been In Rock. It could be.
Okay.
Yeah. But I love the vocal harmonies that Coverdale and Glenn Hughes do also. So, and even the one without Blackmore, Come Taste the Band with Tommy Bolin.
Right.
That was awesome. I love that album too. But I couldn't say it changed my life.
Right. But it's a good album.
The album that changed my life most was my own, Power and Pain.
Okay. That makes sense. I mean, for sure. Because, like I said, there's people out there like me who this is like a sought after collection piece. And honestly, I think it's probably from, like I said, getting online and reading these reviews of like these top 100 thrash albums and seeing bands on there like you've never seen before, like Massacre and Whiplash. And, and that's where it's at. It's like, I want to find out more about these people. And I'm the kind of collector that once I get one thing, I don't like to start in the middle of something.
Yeah, remember back then the tape traders used to send the cassette tapes of stuff back and forth to each other.
Oh, hell yeah. And I really wish that was part of the metal culture, that obviously with digital technology and everything, it's changed to the degree of now you just give somebody your Spotify link or a download link from Bandcamp.
And even the people were giving me their business card with a link to their single on there.
Oh, for sure.
Crazy.
I'm not.
Awesome.
I've done that with stuff that my band has done, where we'll have a business card made and it'll have a download code on there and just say, hey, here's a single or something like that. And
that's awesome.
And it is. It's like it's this era's version of a tape trade, which And here earlier this week, I bought 2 reel-to-reel players.
Oh wow!
So I'm going backwards. I think we're gonna put out our newest album personally on reel. No, I'm kidding.
That'd be cool.
Right. Here is an album that nobody can play. You just have to look at it. So it's gonna have amazing. It's gonna have amazing Frank Frazetta artwork, but you'll never get to hear it.
The album title could be See This.
Yes, exactly. Instead of Hear This, See This. For sure. Tony, thank you so much for coming on the Metal Forge this week. This has been super cool. Again, have a safe flight. Have a great show. And, just be safe and have a lot of fucking fun while you're doing it.
Sure I will. Thank you. Thanks again for your support. I appreciate it greatly.
Awesome. So, one of the things I always like to ask on the way out. So since we were talking about Power and Pain, what is a song you want me to play off of there?
I guess the fan favorite is Power Thrashing Death.
All right, you heard him. This is from the Whiplash album, Power and Pain. This is Power Thrashing Death.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of The Metal Forge. I want to take a minute to remind you guys about the Patreon page. Over on the Patreon page, we have the tiers set up to support the production of the show. We feature the Down and Dirty, which is just $1. There's nothing special for that one, it just sends me a thank you because every dollar helps. Then there's the Double Down and Dirty. Much akin to the Down and Dirty tier, everything helps produce the show in the end. You make your presence known, and I appreciate that more than you realize. Thank you for being a dedicated friend and supporter to the Metal Forge. By selecting that tier, you will receive some cool Metal Forge stickers in your mailbox. Now, we're really going to start pounding the metal madness with the Apprentice Metalhead for just $5 a month. By becoming an Apprentice Metalhead, you'll be given early access to the shows, published 24 hours before everyone else gets it. You're also going to receive 3 entries in any contest that we do here at the Metal Forge. You're also going to receive a 10% discount on all Metal Forge merch, and you're going to receive a sweet Metal Forge patch for your battle jacket or backpack. And now, here is the big one. This is the Master Metalhead for just $10 a month. By becoming a Master Metalhead, you will receive a hand-numbered Metal Forge Master Metalhead membership card. You're going to be given early access to the shows as well, with 36 hours before everyone else. You're going to receive 5 entries in any contest that we do here at the Metal Forge. You'll be able to submit audio questions that I will use on the show of you asking questions to the upcoming guests. Remember, timing is everything, and you will need to keep up with the upcoming guest list on the website. You're also going to receive advanced knowledge of any new merch coming out and be given a 25% discount on all Metal Forge merch. And you're also going to get all of the other rewards from the other tiers. So visit patreon.com/Metal Forge Radio today and help support the Metal Forge. Rock on.